I learned certain skills in different places under different leaders. And then eventually I put those skills together. And when the right opportunity came, I just took them and applied them and started Automovers USA. But it was never in the back of my mind to start auto transport company.
Yeah. So how did that happen then?
So one of my first jobs was at a car rental company in Miami. And the guy that hired me was also Peruvian, and he was the business owner. And there I learned that it was possible to own your own business, right? He was also an immigrant that had started from the bottom in the US, and with the right connections, with the right application of the opportunities and knowledge that he had acquired, he saved up some money and decided to open up a car rental company. So I was under him for a long time learning. So the ins and outs of running a business and also falling in love with the cars. So there were two companies. I was working with the more normal vehicles, let's say, right? Like the day-to-day Toyotas, Nissans, Fords, just the everyday vehicles. But there was another office that had the exotics and these types of vehicles, right? The high-end vehicles. So I would always finish my shift at my office, and I would sneak into the other one and kind of learn more about cars. And I slowly but surely started falling in love with that industry, the automobile industry. And so that's where part of it started. And then after that, I worked for a real estate company also based in the US. And I also worked under someone who was Peruvian, was a business owner. So that just kind of reinforced it, that you could make it even in the US, and being an immigrant and having the odds stacked against you, you could make it, right? And so with him, I learned a lot about leadership, because from the very beginning, we sat down, had a coffee. I had never been a supervisor before, but he said, you're going to be the supervisor of this team that I'm building right now, which was basically, it was a team dedicated to do loan modifications, which at the time in the US, this was 2012, around there, maybe 2011, during Obama's campaign. A lot of people were losing their houses due to the crisis after 2008. And they put out different programs so that people can modify their loans so that it can become more affordable. So there was a whole list of people that we had to take care of and help. And I had a team under me or next to me that I had to push and incentivize. And so that gave me 2 or 3 years worth of experience of managing a team and developing myself as a leader. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, please. It's interesting.
So after that, another thing that I learned was that things finish as they start, they will finish. Everything has a timeline. So the loan modification period had its end towards the end of 2013, somewhere around there. And so we started letting go of people. A lot of my team members started getting laid off. And little by little, it was just like myself and 2 other people in my department. And I knew that it was going to end, right? And so at some point, the company was very faithful to me, and they offered me to stay and maybe do something else for them. But at some point, I said, no, man, it's time. I think it's that time to take it a step further and build my own company. I've already worked under great leaders. I've already developed the skills that I need. And I love business. So it's time to take a risk, right? And so I had a one-on-one with the owner, and I told him, I appreciate your offer, but I'm going to take this other route, and I'm going to start my own company. And he said, what is it going to be? And at the time, I wasn't too sure. I had some equipment from a call center that we had built, and I was going to use that I thought it was going to be like a company that would do services for others. So for example, we would do lost my train of thought. All right, we would do, for example, sales for you, customer service for you, different types of things,
White
right?
glove, white label services, basically.
White label services, exactly. But that didn't work out very well because I didn't have a name. I didn't have nothing established yet. So luckily, or I think it's just my perseverance, I connected with another business owner who had this auto transport company. This was around 2013, 2014. And he said, look, we could use your space. We could use your sales agents. I'll pay you 50% commission if you invest in your own leads and take care of the sales side. And so I said, wow, okay. So I saw the profits, I saw the numbers that he was making, and I went through with the offer, right? I didn't make any money. I actually lost money doing this because I had to pay the agents and I had to pay for the leads. But what I learned was the insights of this business. And a lot of the things that he was doing, I felt like I could do better. And even as a...
That's how you know you're an entrepreneur. Honestly, I think being able to identify the things that you believe you can do better, or highlighting the opportunity in things and think, you know what? I think I could do that better, and going about it and doing exactly what you did.
Man, I saw that very clear, you know, and I agree with you. I saw that very clear, and not only in a business sense, on the personal side too, how he conducted business. I said, man, that I've worked under other leaders before. I think I could do that better. And at some point when I was running out of money, man, this was a very tough period in my life because yes, I made this decision, right? This big jump, but also my savings were running out. I just said, I'm just going to do my due diligence, see what it takes to start this company, right? What type of licensing, what type of accounts do I need? Well, I had learned some of the insights, but he didn't give it all. You know, obviously, as a business owner, you're not going to tell all your setup, your secrets, right? So I did my own research as well. And at some point, I told him, you know what? I'm going to step aside. I'm going to start my own thing as well. And he respected that, you know? And from there, Automover started. But this was back in 2015 where we didn't have a lot of the tools that we have now.
Yeah.
You know, like AI or different systems, voice over IP systems. It was quite different.
Yeah, yeah.